Well, a lot of people are like, hey, Eric, where are you transmitting now if you're not transmitting so much on CB? Well, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. The old Space Patrol frequencies. The old forgotten band, 49 megahertz. Beautiful selection of Radio Shack equipment. And we're able to talk on FM, 49 megahertz, 500 milliwatts, unlicensed. The original GRMS, before GRMS became something. Before this, it was CB channel 14. That was the known frequency, of course, when they did, Radio Shack did release their one channel units. They usually came with channel 14 crystal. That was the walkie-talkie frequency. But, this is the old forgotten band. A lot of people remember this in the 90s. That, at least when Radio Shack was around, this was another set of communications. And it's actually something I looked up, and I'm not the only one. I mean, way back when, and I'm telling you, I don't know how I did it, but it must have been the first run of these 5-channel units. And I actually did it with something very similar to that, but it's not the same chip. But I made these 49 megahertz repeaters. They ended up being using this. I had a micro switch installed on the side. And when you did that, it would transmit on one frequency, receive on another within the 49 megahertz band. It was pretty cool. Like this, I'm on one. We'll see if this has any power to it. Oh yeah, hey breaker one, breaker channel A, 4930 breaker. Receiving you loud and clear, breaker, clear. But yeah, these are simplex normally. But it was a funny thing, and I can't find the model. I mean, I found these, but not the model that you can actually replicate. The repeaters. And these chips, now I found, have changed. These were Motorola's, and they were actually used also for cordless telephones, and they were a 49 megahertz and 46 megahertz. You know that back in the day that this was a almost secondary version of CB. Everyone had channel A. And let's see. Did I get... Oh, yes, I did. I got smart enough to put a chart out. So everyone had channel A. That was usually the standby Radio Shack frequencies, these standalone units from Radio Shack with the beautiful telescoping antenna, which most kids would break very quickly. Not like the Space Patrols they had out. But they are on... let's see here... Yes, this is on, if we can get that to focus real quick. Focus somewhere. But, it's 49, let's see if we can put that in. I can't see it on my side, but, yeah, there you go, 49830. And, channel A. Of course, I have these ones back here that are 5-channel units. So let's refocus, please. And these are actually badass units, and these are ones I actually bought too. I was given a set of these when I was a kid, and pretty much the identical setup here. And they worked on channel A. Then come to find out, they made 5-channel versions. And this walkie-talkie headset mic. And, it has a boom mic and everything on it. As you can see, they're displaying people hiking and Radio Shack realistic. They've changed. Like this one here says realistic. This one here says Radio Shack. This one has a different language on. I believe that is French, if I'm not mistaken. Please let me know in the comments. But yeah, man, this 49 megahertz band was busy back in the day. And these 5-channel units, as you can see, there's A, B, C, D, and E. And of course, they're out of order. But you'll see the other ones that are highlighted. Those are actually licensed for use as well, just like the 5-channel. It actually had 10 channels set up, but yeah, most of the ones by Radio Shack, Maxon, all those that did produce some of these. This was a standard chart: A, B, C, D, and E. And all of those are allowed to be used, but as you can see, it's been used for some other things. But there's actually technically a channel 1, 49,670, channel 6, 49,930, 7, 49,770. See how they're out of order a little bit. Channel 8, 49,990. Channel 10, 49,970. So yeah, these were spaced out properly, and these are legal to be used, and there is modifications on these 5-channel units to be able to do those frequencies. But the fun thing with some of these radios, minus be able to talk to your neighbors or your friends or your next door friend that you know, you're going to sleep and you're sitting there on the space patrol. Same setup as these 49 megahertz. These things here, you pick a channel, may not be clear. At least back in the day, 5 channels on these things were usually always full. And you ask why? Well, you remember the old school cordless phones. You can see I've already hashed out. Those are the frequencies that you're able to listen to the handset. Now, the handset was the handset from the phone. It was the wireless phone. It was analog, full, free, no encryption. And this allowed you to be able to listen to the handset talking to the base. So it would only be one-sided conversations, but as you can see, it used some of the same frequencies, and some of the 25 channel models. The original ones were down here, 25 and above, but most of them AT&T, beautiful AT&T 5310. If you had that model, man, that was a powerhouse. It actually put out a lot of power. And it mostly was 46,610, and a couple they had 2-channel units. If you got the unit with the multiple channels, you were getting 610 and above. But yeah, all these frequencies here were popular, so you'd end up turning into that. And then also you would have old school 6-channel cordless phones. As you can see, they're the exact same channels for the base unit. And if you listen on the base frequencies, you were hearing both sides of the analog conversation. Like I said, there was no encryption on these ones back in the day. However, the old school ones here, the handset transmitted just below 60 meter ham. Yeah, seriously, like right above the AM broadcast is where some of those. And of course, you always had baby monitors. They'd be on the frequency too. So yeah, these were not free and clear. Of course, everything was limited to the 0.5 watt or 500 milliwatts on these, unlicensed, so anyone can use them. You just go to the store and buy them. Like I have here, different varieties. All these are channel A's, and these were the cheaper units, but they were built pretty nice, and they kind of look like a Motorola until you have to put up the full antenna to talk to your friend. Look at the size. Goodness. But yeah, this is kind of cool. So 49 megahertz kitty channel, baby monitor frequency, old school cordless, all that's gone away now, majority anyway. And like I have here, this is the creme de la creme 5-channel unit. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I used to do I actually built a dipole and just alligator clipped to one, ran it out through and made it a Vox. Actually, I used one of those actually. So when the Vox was enabled, it would make a repeater and transmit on the different frequency at the same time. It was very cool. I had a couple of these different units, but yeah, as you can tell, I supported Radio Shack way back in the day. But I'm going to go ahead and power up and see what's going on 49 megahertz now. There's none of those cordless phones. Most people don't have landlines. And yeah, baby monitors have gone digital. I mean, you can actually just use a camera and it's Wi-Fi enabled, and you can even read the temperature of a baby that way. Oh, craziness. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do what I used to do. Be back in a second, show you the hack. Okay, now before I give you the tip on how I used to do all this stuff back in the day, this was also a fun little thing that happened in my school, and probably in a lot of schools that figured this out as well, that wireless mic lapel systems from Radio Shack also transmitted on the, well, depending on which model you bought, you could buy them on all the frequencies, but this one here was 49830, which is channel A, like these. And what you could do, and what this was used for in my junior high, was to corral the kids by tables or sections to go get their food. But if you keyed up on this radio and you were close enough to the receiver and not the transmitter, and if you were in between really, just like every other radio communication, you could key this up and override that little baby lapel transmitter, knocking out the receive to that. So yeah, there were times it was fun to bring this in. Awful times. Yeah, caused us to be running late to different class periods. That was a benefit. But if they couldn't tell us to go, we didn't go. So little key up, little key up, little key up. And yeah, end up late to the next class. Fun times in school. Fun times on 49 megahertz. But yeah, let me go ahead and show you what I used to do back in the day. I'll be back. Now, I brought this chip set out before, and this is actually for the, what is this one for? Yeah, the Motorola 145166 or 167, depending. Of course, this is dated for these articles, 1998. But like I said, I was doing this in the early 90s. I still can't find any of these kitty walkie-talkies. And for good reason, they're kitty walkie-talkies. Most people ended up busting off this thing and threw them in the trash. You could buy a replacement. You can use some other stuff, but now Radio Shack's gone. Most people threw those in the trash anyway. They weren't that. I mean, I think those were $40, and the other ones were $65. The 5 channels. But like I said, when I modified that, I was smarter than I am now. I swear to you, I was 12, 13 years old. I saw a PL02A chip in an export radio that had modified. And I started digging in to this chip. But I never had any of this information. Like I said, this is pre-internet, early 90s. But because what you can do with these is you can set it up to actually transmit and receive, because they were used on phones as well, and depending on the pin layout, you would be able to offset the transmit and receive and kind of basically make it a fake cordless phone. Of course, the radios I did, the 5-channel Vox, were a different chip, because as you said, you can see down here, other input combinations will be defaulted to channel 10, and that'll always default to 49970. But you can offset the pin, and you can transmit on all. See, these are all listed. All of those are transmittable frequencies in the 49 megahertz band. And you're like, hey man, why are you going through all this crazy trouble for this? Well, it's just below the 6 meter band, which will open up with DX. You can also hear some amazing stuff, and this is another STHF frequency band here in use. Very easily attainable 49 megahertz units. Of course, Radio Shack's out of business, so those aren't really attainable, but yeah, you can be on these frequencies as well, and you can actually offset the pins on different units with the Vox. And yeah, you can actually create a repeater and go into something. Of course, you can do it with an ICOM 7300 off the rip, and that's 100 watts. And same with the DX70 I have here. But yeah, there is some playing around you can do on these chips, and you can offset these frequencies, so it will transmit on one and receive on this. Yeah, you just have to do it on the switch when you transmit. I did it with a soft switch, so I can't find the original components. I think they stopped making those and they didn't really talk about it. I tried to go through the Motorola database, but my eyes glazed over. But in any regard, let me show you what I used to do with my radio on 49 megahertz kitty band. So the school got wise to all of that, and then they bought another set of microphone units. Course from Radio Shack, course 49 megahertz. What did I do? I did what I had to do to not go to my terrible class in junior high. I bought the 5-channel unit, so it's just like the same ones with the headphone unit, except it's all 5 of the frequencies. So yeah, I could transmit wherever they were as soon as I heard them, which I would hear in the cafeteria before going in. Key up. You didn't have to have the microphone jack or the antenna plugged into it, just enough to throw a dead carrier and offset that they couldn't dismiss us to our tables, and our lunch period ran long, and we needed to make up a test, and then we never would, and then we'd just get a D or something. I'm not sure how it worked. All I know is it didn't benefit me as much as I thought it would. This caused me some trouble. But yeah, we're able to use these in school too. Those were always fun. But let's go ahead and get this hooked up the way I used to when I was a kid. Show you what's wrong with it and how to benefit yourself when the DX does roll in. And these are actually kind of fun to use for QRP. Under 6 meters. It's not technically 5 meters. There used to be an old ham band at 5 meters. If you don't believe it, it was actually above the 6 meter band. Craziest thing I ever heard. But in any regard, I'm going to go ahead and hook this thing up. Stop babbling, dude. I actually did use a 12 meter dipole I set up half wave. Of course, you double that frequency. The one I used was 49830, and the dipole I had was actually a 12 meter dipole. 33 feet up in the air in the attic, in my attic room. I had antenna wires everywhere in that, man. It was 33 feet up. It was wonderful. I had a CLR too outside. That was even better. But this is my secret here. What you do is you take a alligator clip, plug it into the Cadillac of these radios here, and you just pull the antenna up. You don't even need, you just need a teensy bit. I always did it just like that, and pinch the alligator clip. Of course, the radios I had the speakers apart, mics apart, so it would make a repeater. But this is old school. I don't even know if anything is on 49 megahertz. I mean, wouldn't it be something if you heard something on a phone call if I key this up? What I'm going to do is show you you make this even better. 500 milliwatt, but a beautiful receiver. We're going to go ahead and take CB antenna. Yeah, I know it's tuned for 29, so it's really over 54 megahertz on the next wavelength, but it does what it's supposed to do. We're using it as a receiver. It is a general receiver antenna. I've used that many times on my shortwave side on the 7300. Has no problem with receive. It's transmit you got to worry about. Of course, this isn't tuned up to transmit properly. 500 milliwatts. But okay, so we have it on A. Well, let's make sure. Let's make sure we have volume. Come on, Eric. Do you know how to use Radio Shack, Kitty Talkies? Audio check 1, 2, 3, 4. World Radio 1200 South Carolina. Call in on channel A 49830. Standing by. DX contact. See, that'd be funny if someone came back to me. I don't know. Do you use world radio numbers on this band? But yeah, we hook it up to the CB antenna just as a general coverage. So we know we have receive on this, but no one's on A. That used to be the frequency. Of course, all the from RC cars from Radio Shack were on them. We'll go to B. Oh, Eric, where's our beautiful guide you made for the ladies and gentlemen of the channel? Okay, we're going to B, which will be 49845. Let's see, nothing's going on there. All right, well, let's go on to the next one. Channel C, 49860. It used to always be kind of quiet. Same with 49. But let's go to the next one. Because back in the day, I'm serious, you would hear on every one of these channels a handset. It was unreal. Because you would hear the people talking, you wouldn't hear what they were saying, but there was 900 numbers, credit card numbers, drug deals, you name it. Let's go up to the next one. Well, that one's quiet too. Well, got some on channel E. Let me turn that down. E for Eric. E for Eric. Oh, EricTechstuffs is not. Okay, so channel E, 4989. Shows quiet on my side. Seems to be a carrier. Could this be a baby monitor? Wouldn't be an off-the-hook phone. Landlines have gone away. And if they didn't, they went up the band. Because after 46 and all 25, Cobra came out with some inverted modulation technology to scramble, which you could easily, tune out. Then it went up to 900 megahertz was the next set. Then after that, it was 2.4 gigahertz, and I think they stopped at 5.6 gigahertz before they decided phone lines just awful. But yeah, by that point they were all digital scrambled. This doesn't sound like a birdie to me. It sounds like an old baby monitor. And 49. Where is that? 4989. 4989. Good frequency. But yeah, I think we're able to use. I think it was 4985 and it transmit to a lower one, but within this same band. So I could set up my other one as a box, transmit it out on a dipole, 33 feet up in the air. I mean, you gotta admit these look kind of professional, like Motorola radios. I think this one was the $49 model, and this was the $40 model, one channel, and you can get them in any one of these. Use these a ton. That's so much fun. I may keep this one just for fun. Hook it up to CB antenna. See what's going on with this dead carrier. May throw it on the ICOM. I didn't even think so. I can throw the 4989 on the ICOM. See what's going on. If it's just a dead carrier and I'm getting a birdie off of this, I wouldn't think so. These were very good receives. Very good on noise reduction. So if you did have this and you had some kids on 4983, yeah, you could jump up to another channel and they couldn't get you. Oh, kitty walkie-talkies. The old Space Patrol situation. Radio Shack, realistic. My goodness. So yeah, you can find me. Maybe I'll hang out on 4983 DX conditions. You can throw a 1200 out and see what happens. Kind of fun if 6 meter DX comes in. You know it's coming in here on 49, just a little below 100 milliwatts. Kitty walkie-talkies. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Who knows? All right, 73. I do appreciate y'all listening to me babble. Sure, it's a long video, but it is what it is. All right, 73. Do appreciate all the likes, subs, and everybody else. And yeah, I got some more stuff for sale. A couple of these too. Classics, but yeah, I don't need them.